Shalom, want to start off source by giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash, double honors to the apostle of great millstone, and honors to you brothers doing the work, the most on truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahushua, and when we pray Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahushua, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning that, and Sham meaning names Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Real quick, this one, this was listening to Apostle Tahar, and he's basically, doing a vid on vocab, and this whole idea that Esau is, they're either done away with, or they're the, they're the so-called Ishmaelites, or well, they say Arabs. We know that the Arabs are really Ishmael, pursuant to the prophecies, right? But according to these antichrists, right, is everyone but the so-called white man, right? But let's read this. It's Job 9:24. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right. So that last bit is a bit of a joke, right? It's just saying, look, man, if it ain't this guy, and who, where, and who is he? Right. So first thing you got to ask yourselves, like, well, who's ruling this earth right now? Right. These are the last days. Right. Who's ruling this earth? In fact, the scripture says this. It says, 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Since for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right. So we are of the understanding that at the end of this man's world, you're going to have, the Edomites in power. Okay. And we are at the end of this world. Right. Those that have their eyes open and, can see the prophecies that are, unfolding, see how the world is moving. Right, this is 2 Ezra 9, right? It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, right? Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right, it says, therefore, right, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Right. And last verse says, even so the times also of the highest are plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. Right. So basically, if you're watching and observing the prophecies, you'll be able to identify when the end of this man's kingdom will be, the end of the basically of this world, if you will. Okay, as we just read, 2 Ezra 6 and 9, end of this world. Okay. This is Mark 13:33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. Right. So that's how we're measuring the time. Right. We're watching, we're praying, and we're ticking, prophecies off. Imagine like, a bingo card, and it's like, oh, that's been ticked off, right? And there are two, major prophecies that we're really waiting for, right? We've got the ICB, the MOTB being, pushed out in the world, and once that's done, it's like, whew, hey, we go and celebrate. You're gonna have people that are gonna be like, oh, you're gonna have people that are gonna, so I've lost my trail of thought there, but basically, yeah, we going to celebrate. You're going to have people that are going to be scoffing, whatever, what have you, or you're going to get people that are going to be in shock, like, oh, damn, well, you telling me them Israelites were right. Right, Jack, grab this real quick. Ezekiel 33:33 says, when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. So when these things come to pass, right, it will be made evident to the whole world, right, that the men of Great Millstone, right, the Lord was dealing with the men of Great Millstone. Okay, when this MOTB gets pushed out, things are going to be and made mandatory. Things are going to move quick. Okay, so once again, we have to understand that this is the end of the world, right? In pursuant to 2 Ezra 6 and 9, right, Esau will be in rulership at the end of the world, right? And you look at who's in power right now, right? It's like, who is that? Right. So then we also touch on the fact, says he covered the face of the judges thereof. Right. Who's done this? Who has rewritten history, right? To effectively be everyone in history, but more so the most important man in history, Yahushua. right? He's, painted over, the image of Yahushua, the number one judge, right? And to basically make him look like a so-called white man, despite the fact that in the scriptures, right, the scriptures are quite plain in how the Lord looked. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, where were you? So I'm just getting messages. So on the clock. So this is, from Zondovan's Bible Dictionary. It says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. Right, she is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. Now, what kind of individual, right, has, once again, we put on our thinking caps, right? What kind of individual has, done so wickedly that, the Lord has to be like, nah, you need to be, deleted from the earth? What individual has, damaged the, damaged the earth, right? Has damaged the minds of the people, right? Isn't, can't even, take his words, right? And has just done great wickedness throughout the earth. What individual is that, right? And most importantly, what individual, has basically abused the apple of the Lord's eye in the Israelites, right? That's this Edomite, right? Because this captivity has been, it's been, he's got a lot to pay for, right? Then once again, there are things that we know and there are things that, we don't know. There are things that are not communicated that Esau tries to keep under wraps and, all of the above, right? But the Lord is going to make these things known in these last days. Okay, so because I was saying something, I completely forgot what I was gonna get, but I'll just jump straight to this, and Lord's all comes back to mind. This is Ezekiel 25:12. Oh, that's what I wanted, bro. There, I'll shy. Right, this is which one am I gonna get from? Let me get from Isaiah 24 first, and I'll get the precept in Revelation. Right, it says Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Now, who's defiling this earth? Like the EU like to say, oh yeah, before me, like you lot all lived in mud huts, right? So he wants to on one hand try and take credit for industrialization, but when it's like, yeah, but it's ruining the earth. Oh no, we're ruining the earth. No, Esau, it's you. Right, and actually the only way to stop this earth being destroyed is to remove you out of power. Okay, I mean, this man has made weapons of mass destruction that ruin and make land masses uninhabitable. Right, it's one of the precepts that we have. Right, Antim was given a great sword. Right, that's what this man has done. He's polluted the air, the waters. Right, the land, the people. Right, it's just like this man is contrary to life. Right, and that's why he's going to be taken out. Right, so once again, who else has been so destructive upon this earth other than this Edomite, other than this current rulership? Right, it says because they have transgressed the laws, right, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenants, because there are all different ways, right? Rather there are things written in the law as to how to manage the earth. Right, how the fact that you're not just supposed to be, constantly tilling a particular bit of land. You gotta give things rest, but Esau doesn't want to give things rest. So Revelation 11:18 says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged. It says, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." Right, and Esau's completely destroyed this earth, man, and once again, that's why he's gonna be destroyed. Okay, you may be like, oh yeah, but China's the biggest polluter. Yeah, polluting for who? Right, polluting to make cheap, crappy goods to send over to the, to the Americas, right, to send over to Europe. Okay, they're just following Esau's model. Right, so, even just on that front, right? But let's go into this. Ezekiel 25:12 says, "Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them." Now, who has greatly offended the children of Israel? Right? I mean, all these heathen nations, have had their hand, Right, what is it saying? Let's grab that real quick in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Right, so Psalms 83, right, and 1, right, it says, keep not thou silence, right? So your peacefulness, cut off rest. What does this word cessation mean? I'll bring it to basically, keep not thou silence, all right, O Most High. It says, hold not thy peace and be not still, O Most High, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, right? Because when you look at all the different ways that the children of Israel are poisoned, right, where once again, whether it's via the food, whether via the water, but more so via the mind, right, the way that this Edomite and these different nations have been confederate in keeping Jake on a lower state, right, hiding who we are, right, gaslighting us to think that Israel, that we cannot amount to any better. It's been crafty. And when you look at all the different programs to keep Jake down, it's been crafty, right? It says, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Right, it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right, so for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. Right, so all these heathens, ultimately, especially the elites of these different heathens, they know who we are. Right, they know who the real children of Israel are. Right, but they have one shared goal, right, and one common interest in keeping us down. Right, so that they can continue to, have a play in this world, have some kind of power in the world, right? Because once the children of Israel are back to their right mind, bro, these heathens ain't got a chance. These heathens are through, right? So it says the tabernacles of Edom, right? And who's it mentioning first? These Edomites, man, these so-called white people, right, that have done the dirtiest to the children of Israel. Right, so then the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarites, right? Ishmael being them so-called Arabs, Moab being so-called Chinese, and because they be looking down on Jake. Right, here it is, I'll put my hands up, I like their women or whatever, but like they don't even walk properly, man. Right, eyes don't open properly, but they look down on you, man. It's like yo, what are this? Right, it just goes to show once again that we have been brought to a lower state. Right, it says Ecclesiastes 10:7. It says, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And we're those princes that are walking as servants upon this earth. Right, but once again, that's why we're waiting for the Lord to come back and to reset order. Right, because right now this world is all kind of out of order. Right, so let's carry on. As back in Ezekiel 25:13 says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword, and I'll lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, right? And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power, right? So the Lord's going to put his anger in us to deal with these Edomites. Because once again, we don't know everything that Esau's done. We just have what was written, right? And he's allowed to, come out. But we know that they were doing the most to us, man. You just look into the origins of gynecology. If I can spell that word, man. This is one of them. Is it? Hold on. I'll just spell it wrong. Gynecology. There we go. Gyne. Right? Let's see what we can grab real quick. So I'm just trying to get something that's not just a big wall of text. It's like a summary. And in fact, this is perfect actually. Because we just read the title. And this is it. There'll be monuments to these Edomites. All right. This is from history.com. It says the father of modern gynecology performed shocking experiments on enslaved women. His use of black bodies as medical test subjects falls into a history that includes the Tuskegee syphilis experiments and Henrietta Lacks. Right. And when you start looking into a lot of these different people that Esau reveres, right, in this world, right? You see all of this there, you see all of that, so you know what time it is. right? When you look into a lot of these people that Esau reveres, right, they were just straight up demons, man, right? But once again, he's a demon. This is Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand, right? Thou didst show them no mercy. Man, Esau showed us no mercy, man. No one, once again, no one has, hurt the children of Israel like this Edomite, man. Right, so upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy stroke. Right, in fact, I actually never even mentioned this guy's name. So it says, few medical doctors have been as lauded, which is praised, and loathed as James Marion Sims, right? Credited as the father of modern gynecology, Sims developed pioneering tools and surgical techniques related to women's reproductive health. Okay. So, and this is the thing, because then they'll be like, yeah, but if he never did that, then we wouldn't have been, they'll try and justify and this, but it's like, nah, you've offended, right? And once again, no one has offended the children of Israel like these so-called white people. So when you put in the precepts together, it's like, who would they be? Okay. But I'm just gonna get some more precepts on just these Edomites in general. So I'm just closing up some of these tabs, right? So it's easier to to flow through, right? But you're just gonna get some closing precepts, right? So this is Obadiah 1:3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, right? Who is more proud than this Edomite? Okay, it says, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, who calls themselves Caucasians. Right, whose habitation is high, who loves these skyscrapers, where the Apostle Rhymelove did a video a couple of years back, on the first skyscrapers. I think it was in like Chicago or something like that. Right, it says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me to the ground? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Once again, you get other nations that have used the eagle, but like who is known for the eagle? Right, that's these Edomites. Right, it says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Right, and then Jeremiah 49:16, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Once again, who calls themselves Caucasians, right? Because they dwell in the Caucasus Mountains. Right, when you look into like this society that they've built, it's just like basically like another set of caves. Right, it says, thou that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I'll bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh. Okay, and then last two says Genesis 27:40 says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right, who lives by the sword? Right, scriptures speak about the hammer of the whole earth, right? And then also you read in Isaiah, take how the world is at rest, right? When and at peace when this man was finally taken down, right? Because this man just goes around just with the sword killing. Like when you read Ezekiel 35th chapter, says that saith thou hast not hated blood. Because it's Edomite, man. Blood's nothing to him. It's just they're like, oh, just killed another 1,000 people. Like, look what he's doing over there in Palestine, man. Right? Rather in the Gaza Strip. Okay. And then last one, Revelation 6:4 says, and there went out another horse that was red, right, which is a clue, right? Because Esau, Edom, right, is red. Okay, he says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And once again, who has genuinely taken peace from earth? Right, these Edomites, man. You look at the 2 world wars; those were devastating wars. Where you're seeing, thousands, tens of thousands of people dying in one day. Or in the case of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, hundreds of thousands of people dying in one day. And in the case of the ICBMs, hundreds of millions of people will die. In one day, right? In 1 hour. Want to be specific. Right, because that if you ain't of the elect and you're still on the soils of America, it's peak. You just gonna get melted, pursuant to Zechariah 14:12. It says then that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Right, that great sword, once again being ultimately the ICBM nuclear missile, because that's just something that's just destructive. That's just when these nukes start flying, man. It's over. Once again, that's why the Lord this time is having to extract, the elect out of the earth, right? And in fact, I'll just close up on this one, just on that point, right? Because it's going to be so destructive that it's going to have the most what do you call it? It's going to have the most insane deliverance. This is Jeremiah 16:14-15. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, right, from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I'll bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers, right? So this salvation is going to eclipse Egypt. It's going to make Egypt be like, oh, shit, Egypt? So as always, Lord, with us edifying. Until next time, we say, Shalom.